guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be part 8, episode 2 of my Jonbenet Ramsey deep dive. So this is part 2 of the Unsub's profile. So my last video, I started breaking down the profile of this perpetrator. And I got through, I think, I made a list of questions that I wanted to look into, and I think I made it to about 8, question number 8, and I still had, 8 more questions to go. So this is part 2 of that. These are my list of questions, and we're going to get started with that. So my first question is a message from this Unsub. And before I get started, everything in this video is alleged, in my opinion, based on the energy of the cards that I'm reading. This is not fact. This isn't something you can take into a court of law or anything like that. It's just my interpretation of the cards. What else do I want to say? Oh, yeah. My intention with this is to shed some light on the type of person that did this. Anyway, let's get started. So a message from this Unsub. What if this perpetrator could give us any message, what would that message be? I'll do 5 cards. It's a wish fulfillment. It's the 9 of Cups upright. Standing their ground. It's the 7 of Wands. This is their energy. Knight of Wands. A very rebellious, hot temper, impulsive person. That's not surprising. Death. Does not want to change their negative ways. And the 5 of Cups. So this card could mean regret. However, well, I've always believed that it was never, Jonbenet was never really supposed to die. I don't think that, and this is my opinion, I don't believe that whoever did that to her wanted to kill her. That wasn't their intention. So, based on the cards that I'm reading, we've got the 9 of Cups. This is a wish fulfillment. And recognition. Standing his ground, protecting his territory, and doing everything in his power to do that. So his wish is to stand his ground, not get caught for what he did. this is his energy. He's a very impulsive person. He's a very live wire, if you will, hot temper. He's fine 1 second, but the next second he will explode. And that, to me, was how that head wound happened. Jonbenet was already deceased. So the head wound that should have bled a lot didn't, because her heart was already not beating. And the head wound happened because he was so frustrated and so angry at the accident that happened that, and this was something that I saw in a vision when I was pulling cards. This goes back into one of the earlier readings in the series. Once he realizes that she's dead, he loses his temper at the situation and at her, and smashes her head into the ground. So that is an example about how quick he can go from being in control to not being in control. Death. This card is indicative of him starting new. Moving on from this situation to his life, almost seeing it as a rebirth for himself. Like the old him and then the new him after she died. And I think that has to do with his form of regret and sadness. He's feeling like he failed at whatever he was doing, because the intent was never to kill her. In my opinion, it was to abuse her, to give himself sexual gratification in a really sick way, but it wasn't to kill her. And that's what this regret and failure card is about. So that is his message. My wish is to never get caught for what I did. And after I killed her, I started anew. There was a rebirth for me. Okay. Gross. All right, so I want to get a description of this guy's childhood. So I'm going to do 5 cards on his childhood, but before I do that, I'm going to pull, I took the self cards out of the Kim Krans archetype deck. And I want this to represent the dominant archetype that he was when he was a child. What side of his personality dominated his existence as a kid? Okay, description of this guy's childhood archetype. The sustainer. Put these cards back in the deck. I'm just going to look in the guidebook and see what the Sustainer is about. So in this book, the Sustainer, the second archetype in the trio of existence, it works behind the scenes, tending to the tasks of life. They cultivate gardens, pay bills, keep the meals warm, and the mouths sweetly fed. The Sustainer is at peace in the process of life, knowing there is no start or finish to humble yet meaningful tasks. They have a natural inclination to nourish others, to archive, to persevere Earth's resources, to consider environmental impact, to see their role in the divine cycle of life. It's common for the Sustainer to become overworked, leading to resentment. I'm just wondering, so overworked, that leads to resentment. Did this person work for John? I'm wondering about that. And did he resent John? That's something to look into. So the Sustainer card actually came out upside down, and that's like the shadow version. So they also have feelings of being trapped. And it says here, their tasks aren't glamorous, and therefore the Sustainer rarely receives the credit or attention. The Sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly, especially in relationships, that they resist a necessary change. The Death card in our first question. The shadow version of that card is not wanting change, or refusing to change, or refusing to expel negative negative patterns. Okay. So this is telling me that his childhood, he didn't really have much of a support system. I'm feeling like he needed to cook his own meals. He needed to actually parent himself. So there was abuse and neglect going on, or at least neglect. Probably abuse too, I would imagine, of the SA kind. Oh, it's chilly. Ooh, freezing. All of a sudden. Okay. So that is his archetype, the Sustainer, in shadow. Let's get the 5 cards that describe his childhood. Okay. So, we got the High Priestess upright. That's about intuition. Then we've got the 7 of Pentacles upright. That's about long-term investments and sustained patience through something. Perseverance. We've got the 4 of Swords. And this is needing self-protection. So that is telling me that there was definitely abuse in the house if he needs to self-protect. Oh, Lord. Very toxic energies. Addiction issues. This is also abuse and abuse of the sexual variety as well. Last card. Oh. Worry. Anxiety and depression. Sleepless nights, paranoia, fear, and nightmares. That's what this guy's childhood was. Oh, it's dark. Okay. I would like a detailed description of this person as a child. Detailed description of this person as a child. Independent. Intelligent. We got the Queen of Swords upright. And a logical person. We've got the Tower. And this is a disaster. Trauma happened to this kid. And it changed everything. Whatever foundations he had before this Tower event, it destroyed everything he ever knew. And it created this new person. Here's the Knight of Wands energy again. This is where that rebellious and quick temper came from. And then after this Tower, he suddenly had multiple priorities. So I'm not sure if a parent died and maybe he was sent to live with somebody else. And when that happened, that's when the trauma began. Because the Two of Pentacles is like multiple priorities. So if his parents passed, he goes to live with foster parents or he's put in a system. Usually kids are like, not always, but you hear time and time again about foster parents taking on way too many kids and then neglecting them and abusing them. And it just, yeah, this Tower event changed everything for this person. The life they knew it was gone. Standing their ground again. Needing to protect themselves. And again, persevering through this dark time. All right, I'll put these cards back. Okay, so let's go. How was he treated before this tower event by his parents? How was he treated before this tower event by his parents? He felt trapped. He was treated like a victim. Maybe he was a victim. Here's that perseverance card again. The Hangman. Surrendering to something. What was he surrendering to? His mother. Ooh. The Empress. This is the mother card. Okay, and then we have the Two of Swords, which is a deep inner conflict. It's like, I should love this person. It's my mother, but I hate her. Like, how did the mother treat? Privilege. Okay. Page of Wands. This is representing him young. So before this tower event, they had money. And he was a lot more outgoing. And then around this time was when that grief and loss happened. And I'm wondering if that has to do with that tower event. Okay, so we've got giving and receiving, the Six of Pentacles. After the tower event happened, that's when the grief and the loss set in, and his life changed forever. I see that he used to be affluent. Family used to have money. But after this tower event, which is what this is representing with the grief and sadness, he needed charity. Knight of Pentacles. This is, yeah. So this is where the hard work started to come in, because he needed to. That's what was ingrained into his head. And that's when there's that perseverance, that perseverance that he always had as a kid is now geared towards money. How was he treated after the Tower event? There's the High Priestess. And this is divine feminine energy and intuition. A higher power. So he starts to find this new opportunity, his new life path, his new initiative. Yes, so here is the divine masculine. And this would be the authority or the archetype that he wants to become. And this is his plan to find his place in the world. Ten of Cups. This is also what he thinks he should want or achieve. Yeah. What he thinks he should also achieve. Apart from being authority and leader in business and that kind of thing. This is him juggling his life, his outward life, his family life, his work life, balancing it with his dark urges. Always having to find balance between the two. Ace of Pentacles. This is this symbolizes his job, like his financial opportunities with his job, but also looking for the opportunities for his dark side as well. And how those negative thoughts and anxieties and shadow side always seem to creep back in. Rewarded efforts. All right. What is this person's soul contract? What is this person's soul contract? Letting go of their dark attachments. Moving on from their compulsions. Trying to find new opportunities to break through the negative, evil thoughts. Self-sacrifice. Sacrificing themselves instead of somebody else. Instead of sacrificing somebody else for their own evil attachments. Trying to find inner clarity to their clarity about their demons, why they do the things they do. Like, yeah. But they're definitely not succeeding. Looks like they failed again. Page of Pentacles. This was a faithful messenger delivering this soul contract message. So either one of his guides, one of my guides, whatever. Yeah, his soul contract, his purpose was to be able to fight against these evil things. Heal from the trauma, but instead of doing that, he decided to feed it instead. How will their past affect their future? How will their past affect their future? Their past will affect their future by their like how people see them, the recognition that they get from other people, that will be affected. Their life abundance will be affected. And how successful they are will be affected. They will need to remain vigilant for the rest of their lives, constantly being paranoid. The compassion that they, or therefore the lack of compassion that they will see in the people that are in their everyday life. They're going to notice that people are not going to have the support for them they once did. Their confidence in how their life will progress is being affected too. Things are not going for them as well as they used to, and they notice that. Queen of Swords, people will not believe them anymore. Their words won't have the impact that they once did. And they will end up alone. Kind of like that's kind of what they deserve. That's what happens when your shadow side completely runs the show. I'm not surprised at all. Okay, one more question, and this is something that I'm really curious about because I haven't quite nailed it down yet. How do they know the Ramsey family? How do they know the Ramsey family? I'm feeling like it's maybe through John's work, but I'm not, I just want to look into it. Okay. How does the perpetrator know the Ramsey family? Through some sort of victories or achievements. Like through an award, I don't know, like an award ceremony, or maybe through Jonbenet's pageant award ceremonies. Let's see. So they know the family through multiple channels. Not just one place. Okay. They know the Ramsey family through John. This is the father figure card. It's a long-time connection. The Six of Cups. This is nostalgia. This is old connections, you know, past connections. Yeah. Family, friends. What more can you tell us about how they know the Ramseys? Nine of Pentacles, business. Yeah. And a celebration. So, yeah, they go to celebrations together. This is definitely giving me, like, we've worked for a long time together. Our wives know each other. Our kids know each other. Always see each other at the fun activities that we put through our that has to do with our work. But that maybe, this is the Five of Pentacles, but maybe this friendship wasn't as good as it once was. And that would make sense if, you know, this person has such a volatile temper. You piss them off. You know, what are they going to do? And this person's childhood archetype is one to be very hardworking. But if you don't give them the credit that they think they're due, they become very resentful. Where does this resentment stop, right? Yeah. Alrighty. So that is it for this video. Actually, before I go, let's pull some Whispers of the Unsolved and see what it has to say for this reading. Control, gaslighting, manipulation, long-time connection, has had eyes on the family or Jonbenet or both, probably for a while. Her death was an accident. As in, let me make this clear about what I mean by an accident. They got a little carried away with the act that they were doing to her. And they did not realize she had passed while they were doing that really gross thing with the garrote. It was never meant to kill her. It was only meant to, I don't know. But I really don't think the intention was to kill her. I think that they were too involved with what they were doing, not paying attention to the fact that she passed out or that she was unresponsive. Yeah. So that's what this is meaning. Yeah, she had a medical emergency that they did not see. They did not pay attention to the fact that she was unresponsive and not breathing. And by the time they did see what happened, it was already too late. And then we had truth on the bottom of the deck. Yes. Okay. What other things do you have to say about this? Yes, there is disposing of evidence. This person got rid of whatever evidence they had that could link them. And they have escaped. They've run away from the situation. Red flag, though, with their personality. And them running away was also a red flag. Death. They went abroad. And their identity is currently concealed. Maybe they are living abroad somewhere in the woods. They feel like they're trapped. And then they're just cleaning up the pieces of their fractured life. So before I pulled this Angels and Ancestors card, I was thinking about the concept where, so there's more than just earthly justice. And I'm a firm believer that when something like a murder has happened to a person, they are able to, in the afterlife, determine whether they want earthly justice or whether they want karma. And as I was about to pull a card, I was thinking about and feeling like Jonbenet chose karma for this case. And then I got Angels and Ancestors. And to me, this is a confirmation that she's taking the higher road. And she's choosing the universe. She's choosing the universe to deal out the punishment that it sees fit. Because that is the natural way of things. So I'm not saying we shouldn't strive for justice on the earthly plane. That's not what I'm saying. But if we never get it, God forbid, but if we don't end up getting it, I think I can sit well with the fact that she's chosen her justice. All right, that's it for today. But I will be back very soon with my last video of the Jonbenet series. And it's going to be, we're not going to be focusing on what happened to her. It's simply going to be a mediumship interview with her. Spirit. Okay. Stay tuned for next time.